The Constitution of India, Preamble. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution.
Hello children, friends are our angels who lift us up when our wings forget how to fly. So maintain good relationship, good friendship forever. Okay, in our previous class, Toto-chan was planning to help Yasuki-chan to climb her tree. Yes children? At last, what was her idea? Let's see. Take your textbook and take that page number 152. Toto-chan's idea. Toto-chan ran back to the shed and pulled out many things one after another. She was looking for something that would help her. She finally discovered a step ladder. It would remain steady so she wouldn't have to hold it. Okay, so what happened there? What was her idea? She went to the shed nearby in their school itself. A shed is there, so she went to that shed and started pulling out many things that would help her. Which one is going to help? Nobody knows. So she also taking so many things from there. At last she found out a step ladder. അത് കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ടാവും അല്ലേ, ഇങ്ങനെ സ്റ്റാൻഡ് പോലെ ഉള്ള ladder കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ടാവും. Just go through that picture also in your textbook. She knew that the step ladder would remain steady, that is, it won't move and she wouldn't have hold it. Yes, so that is the use of step ladder. So what happened? She dragged the step ladder over to the tree. Stand by ulla step ladder ne valichu kondu dragged. She was amazed at her own strength. Okay, she was happy to find that the ladder almost reached the fork. The ladder also having such a height to touch her fork in that tree. Now, don't be afraid, she said in a big sisterly voice. This isn't going to wobble. What she said now? Wobble means move. Okay children, what's the meaning for wobble? Move. What she said as a sisterly way, that is as a big tone, she said to Yasuki, don't worry, don't afraid. And she pulled the step ladder near that tree and asked him to climb. Okay, Yasuki-chan looked nervously at the step ladder. Then he looked at Toto-chan. Yasuki looked both step ladder as well as Toto-chan. She was drenched in perspiration. Children, perspiration means sweating. വേർത്തിരിക്കുകയാണ്, മൊത്തം വേർത്ത് കുളിച്ചു. Drenched പറഞ്ഞ വേർത്ത് മൊത്തം നനയുക, കുളിച്ചു നനഞ്ഞു. Okay, with full confidence she was doing these things. Yasuki-chan was sweating too because of his nervousness. Okay children, now he looked up at the tree. Then with the determination he placed a foot on the first rung. Determination means firmness. With full confidence he also, Yasuki also, okay, have the first step, first rung. They were not aware of the time it took Yasuki-chan to reach the top of the stepladder. The hot summer sun beat down, but they thought only about getting to the top of the stepladder. Toto-chan followed him, lifting his feet up. Yasuki-chan struggled with all his might and finally reached the top. Okay, children, so what happened there? They both looked up at the tree first, and with solid firmness, that's the meaning for determination, with full firmness, he placed his first foot. Time passed by, time was moving, but they are not at all care about that. They did not bother to know about the time it took to reach the top of the stepladder. But it was so hot, that climate also, the sun was giving too much of heat. But they had only one thing. What was that in their mind? What was that thing, children? Yes, it was about getting to the top of the stepladder. So Toto-chan was behind, helping who? Yasuki. Yasuki used all his power and strength, and finally they reached the top. What did he say after reaching the top, children? Hooray, because of their victory. Yes, now they both are at the top of the stepladder. Now again, one more step is there. They want to sit. They want to move to the tree in that fork area. That is the second step. How they are going to move, that also we will see now. The struggle. Toto-chan jumped onto the fork, but she couldn't get Yasuki-chan onto the tree from the stepladder. She wanted so badly to have Yasuki-chan onto her tree. She wanted to show him all sorts of things. Clutching the stepladder, Yasuki-chan looked at Toto-chan. Why? We'll see that. So children, what happened in that para? Toto-chan easily jumped onto the fork, but she was not able to make Yasuki-chan climb onto the tree from the stepladder. He was holding the stepladder, looked helplessly at Toto-chan. Yes? Why? Because she suddenly felt like crying. Who? Toto-chan. But she didn't cry. She feared that if she did, Yasuki-chan might start crying too. That is correct, isn't it, children? So what happened there? She felt like crying, but she did not cry, because if she cries, then Yasuki also might lose his hope and cry. So again, what happened? She took hold of his hand. It was bigger than hers, and his fingers were longer too. They were all stuck together because of the polio. She held his hand for a long time. Then she said, "Lie down, I'll try to pull you over." Okay, what Toto-chan said now? She took hold of his hand, but his fingers were very long and all stuck together because of the polio. Stuck together പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഒന്നോടൊന്ന് ഇങ്ങനെ മുറുകി നിൽക്കുകയാണ്. വലിയ ആളുടെ കയ്യും പോലെയാണ്, പിന്നെ മുറുകി നിൽക്കുകയാണ്. So Toto-chan can't able to hold his fingers. She asked him to lie down, and then she would try to pull him over. Just look at the picture, children. He was lying on that ladder. By that, Toto-chan pulled him up to that fork. If any grown-ups had seen the scene, they would have let out a scream. If any grown-ups like us saw this scene, they'll shout, why they are doing like this? What are they doing like that? So, but Yasuki-chan trusted Toto-chan completely. That's the great moment of the friendship. That's the true friendship, children. Toto-chan was risking her life for him. With her tiny hands clutching his, she pulled with all her might. So children, what happened? Yasuki trusted Toto-chan. like that, Toto-chan also, with full of her energy, she pulled Yasuki. Toto-chan was putting her life in danger. How? She was pulling Yasuki-chan with her tiny hands. That's the main thing. Yes, that's both friends. They are trusting each other. From time to time, a large cloud would mercifully protect them from the blistering sun. Okay, at last the two stood face to face on the tree. Okay, children, so blistering means intense, extreme. The sun power also, it's an extreme power. But who was protecting them? A cloud. Luckily for them, clouds in between protected them from the blistering sun. Blistering means extreme power of the sun. So at last the moment arrived. What was it, children? What was the moment? Now both of them stood face to face on the fork, on the tree fork. Okay. Brushing her damp hair back. Damp hair means wet her. Because of the full effort, she was sweating. So her hair was damped, means wet. She brushed, that means making the hair like this. Toto-chan bowed politely to him and said, "Welcome to my tree." They were, both of them were standing on the fork, and Toto-chan asked to Yasuki, "Welcome to my tree." Yasuki-chan leaned against the trunk smiling. Leaned പറഞ്ഞാൽ ചെറിയ, ആ ട്രങ്കിൻ്റെ ഇതിൽ ചെരിഞ്ഞിരുന്ന്. And Yasuki also rather bashfully and said, bashfully means in a shyly way, "May I come in?" Okay, this boy also asked the normal question, "May I come in?" Now next page. So now on the top of the world, what was their situation now? They were happy. Yes, Yasuki-chan was able to see vistas he had never glimpsed before. Vistas means a pleasing, pleasuring view. That much happy Yasuki was. So he had a glimpse all over the place. That much long view. They can see all the things from that place. So this is what it's like to climb a tree. He said happily like this, "I'm waiting for this." Yasuki said. They stayed on the tree for a long time and talked about all sorts of things. They talked with each other about so many things. But what was their feeling now? They were happy, they were joy, isn't it? The feeling of joy and pleasure. That's the only feeling. My sister in America says they have got something there called television, said Yasuki-chan with enthusiasm. She says that when it comes to Japan, we'll be able to sit at home and watch sumo wrestling. She says it's like a box. She simply wondered how sumo wrestlers could get inside a box in your own houses. So what happened? What Yasuki told? Yasuki told to Toto-chan about his sister in America who wondered a television with enthusiasm. What is the meaning for enthusiasm? Something eagerness, avesham. Okay. His sister had told him that the TV is like a box, and when it reaches Japan, all of them would be able to sit at home and saw sumo wrestling. What's the meaning for sumo wrestling, children? Have you seen wrestling? Yes, you liked it, isn't it? So, children, she simply wondered how sumo wrestlers could get inside a box in your own houses. They don't know. In those days, they don't know about this TV or the sumo wrestlers, etc., etc. So she was asking how this much of big people, they are getting inside a small box. That's what they are she was asking. Sumo wrestlers are so big, but it was fascinating all the same. In those days, nobody knew about television. Okay, children. Yasuki-chan was the first to tell Toto-chan about it. Children, next para, the cicadas were singing. That means cicadas means it's a Latin word. You know as a tree crickets. Yes, നമ്മളുടെ ചീവീട് എന്നൊക്കെ പറയില്ലേ, മണ്ണാട്ട എന്നൊക്കെ പറയില്ലേ, അതാണ് പറയുന്നത്. And that small insects, they were singing, and the two children were so happy. And for Yasuki-chan, it was the first and last time he ever climbed a tree. Okay, children? So, by this, we are concluding the beautiful lesson. So, they were happy here. Both the children, both the friends, they are believing each other. They were happy now. Always, my dear children, be ready to accomplish acts with which we once thought we cannot do. Okay, children? For that, you need commitment, confidence, and courage and determination. Okay, children? So, always be ready to do such a thrilling work to make your life better or the best. Okay, go through with the exercise and read the lesson, do the activities and write the meanings and send it to me. Reading is very important. Okay, children? Bye. I'll meet you in the next class.